And I met with Malik, and I remember walking away from the conversation just being utterly blown away with his leadership, the work that he had done. And I remember him talking about how they were DBCFSN was 8 years into trying to get this co-op, the dopest co-op in the world, off the ground. And I walked away and I thought to myself, they have done it all. They have done the research. They are doing the education. They are working with kids. They are leading a movement in this. And I have watched in development and other parts of my life where people who have a fraction of the passion, a fraction of putting the work in, have been able to get the money, get the support, move faster. In a different kind of world, this project would have been built in just a couple, 2-3 years, right? Right. It would have, in a different kind of world.
The Deputy Mayor from the Mayor's Office. We have Honorable Mary Sheffield from the Detroit City Council. We have Meredith Freeman, who is a Director in Alignment and Impact Investing, and also a part of the funders, the Max M. and Marjorie S. Fisher Foundation. We have Jermaine Jenkins from the Equitable Food-Oriented Development. We have Mama Dara Cooper from the National Black Food and Justice Alliance. And Gilbert Williams, the board president of the Detroit People's Food Co-op. We have Akil Talley, the amazing manager of the Detroit People's Food Co-op. We have Sonia Mays, our partner, from the president and CEO of Develop Detroit. And of course, we have our executive director, Baba Malik Yaki. All right. So let's talk about this process. You cannot build a movement, you cannot build an institution with an individual. And even though we have amazing individuals up here, it was a collective work that made this a possibility. It's the people who held the dream, who did the work, who sacrificed, who didn't listen to people when they said you can't have the word black in the name of your organization, who didn't listen when you said this can't be a black-led institution, who didn't listen when they said that we didn't deserve our own co-op within a majority black city. People like us made this happen. People like you made this happen. But understand, this is an amazing day. It feels great. This weather's gonna hold. It's gonna hold. Okay. But in order to maintain this wonderful place, you have to invest in it. And your membership is amazing, but we need you to shop here. We need you to tell your friends. We need you to tell your church. We need you to tell your mosque. We need these elders to come through by the busload like they do to Walmart. We need to bring our young people in here. We need all of you invested in making this a success consistently. Not just when the cameras are here, when we're all here looking good in our African garb, but we need you Monday through Sunday, 8 through 8. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We are open, working hard for you. We need you to participate in this process. We need you to get people involved in becoming member owners, because it's not just saying, I own this, it's I'm active in making this a success. We have committees. I lead the Black Caucus with my fellow members. We work collectively, right? We also have a membership committee. We have people who help choose the food that goes in here. So if you don't like it, join the committee. Become a part of the process. And we need you. So please know that this is great. We love you, but keep coming back. Keep coming back. In addition, upstairs is the Detroit Food Commons. How many of you know about the Detroit Food Commons? Okay, so upstairs, we of course have the offices of the Detroit Black Community Food Sovereignty Network, but in addition, we have 4 community kitchens, 4, that we call the Kujichagulia Kitchens. Say that with me, Kujichagulia Kitchens. Yes, it's available for rent. It's available if you are a caterer. It's available if you want to teach young people how to cook. It's available because some of y'all grown folk need to learn how to cook. Come on, learn. Come on, be a part of this process, right? And in addition to that, we have the Imani, Humphrey Banquet Hall. This is an amazing tribute to a leader in our community, an ancestor who was an institution builder. She was one of the founders of Aisha Shule and W.E.B. Du Bois Academy, and we're very honored to name this hall after her. Wow. So everyone, give a strong hand to Mama Hanifa.
All right, we're ready now. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. What a beautiful morning. So, we know that as African people, we live in a duality. We live in a reality that we can see. We see one another. But there's also another reality that we understand is real, and that is the reality of the unseen. That is the abode of our ancestors. And we also recognize that whenever there's a gathering, before any of those proceedings can go forth, we must acknowledge, we must call our ancestors to be a part of this. And so we take the time to pour libation, and we ask them to come, because we know that they have been guiding us throughout this process. This process would not have come to fruition were they not guarding and guiding our path. We begin with Mother Dink Nesh, who is the progenitor of all humanity. And to Mother Dink Nesh, we pour libation and we say, Ashe. We think about those most ancient of Africans who pondered the universe. Those most ancient Africans, Queen Taye. We say Ashe. Ashe. Akhenaten, we say Ashe. Queen Aminaranas, we say Ashe. We think about those Africans who domesticated the first animals, who planted and cultivated the first crops. We may not know their names, but we know that they existed. Who built the first pyramids. To those ancestors, we say Ashe. We think about ancestors such as Queen Mother Asantewa, who told the Europeans that they would not take the Asante stool, the stool that held the soul, the essence of the Asante, the Akan people. And we say to Queen Mother Ya Asantewa, Ashe. We think of Dr. George Washington Carver, who is our patron saint of agriculture, our patron saint. To Dr. George Washington Carver, who told us that a weed is just a flower growing in the wrong place. Dr. George Washington Carver, who understood that if the farmers could not come to him, then he would take the education to them. To Dr. George Washington Carver, we say Ashe. We remember right here in the city of Detroit, all of our glorious warriors, those who fought to ensure that Detroit became a mecca for Black hope, for Black joy, for Black love, because if Detroit was good for us, then Detroit was good for everybody. Everybody. We acknowledge and give thanks to our first Black mayor, Coleman Alexander Young, and we say Ashe. To Jeramogi Abebe Ajaman of the Shrines of the Black Madonna of the Pan-African Orthodox Christian Church. To Jeramogi Abebe Ajaman, we say Ashe. To Mama Imani Humphrey, whose name has already been called, who this beautiful banquet hall has been named in her honor. Mama Imani Humphrey, who understood the importance of African people educating our African children. To Mama Imani, we say Ashe. Ashe. We think about Baba Kadiri Senefera, D-Town farm manager. To Baba Kadiri Senefera, we say Ashe. Ashe. To the first project manager of this beautiful space. You all know her as Julie McBride. We in the Shrine know her as Sister Izebe. We know you're here, Izebe, and we know that you're smiling. To Sister Izebe, we say Ashe. Ashe. To Mama Isoke Reynolds, upstanding elder in our community, and I don't care who you were, when she saw you, the first thing she was going to ask you, you a member of the co-op yet? You're not. Well, why not? You ought to be. Do you understand the importance of that co-op? Do Do you understand the importance of you being a member of that co-op? We heard you, Mama Isoke. We thank you, Mama Isoke. We love you, Mama Isoke. To Mama Isoke Reynolds, we say Ashe. We pour libations to all of those who are responsible for us being here. Because we know that we had grandmamas and big mamas and big papas and great aunties who did their best to shelter us from the inhumanities that they themselves could find no refuge. And we want to honor them right now and call their names. Jesse Smith Jr., my father, Ashe, call their name. Berthan and Sammy Ryder, Ashe. 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 We want to call the names of those young warriors in our community. Those young warriors who were not able to reach their full potential. We want to call the name of Jacoby Ray, Ashe. Chinyelu, Ashe. We want to call the name of Omar Dismuke. We want to call the name of Osakwe Ndegwa Jahi. We want to call the name of Ashe. And for our last libation, we know that in our tradition, we are told that the babies are just the ancestors' return. So to all of the children not yet born, but who are on the way to carry forth this work once our time is done, but also understanding that it is only if we live our lives according to the tenets of my art: truth, justice, balance, harmony, reciprocity, propriety. It is only through living our lives founded upon those tenets will we be worthy of them calling our names and ushering us into the land of forever, the abode of the ancestors. The abode of the ancestors. And Mama Ifitayo Karamoko, Mama Ifitayo, yes, thank you Zakia. Mama Ifitayo, there are so many ancestors, and I don't have my roll call book with me, but it's okay. If I forgot a name, we know that you are here with us. We know that you will continue to guide us, and we ask for you to forever be with us. Ashe, 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 Ashe.
Give Mama for a hand. I would like to call up Rosebud Schneider, Mama Rosebud, sister. There you go. We want to acknowledge the land. We want to honor our indigenous brothers and sisters. We are a community. We are a family. This is Rosebud Schneider.
Ani buju, pamasana ko indigenous kasma ko dodam, wawi atanang and donjba, and Anishinaabe Kwayanda. So greetings. My name is Rosebud Bear Schneider. I spoke to you in my native language. I told you my name. I told you I'm from Wawiatanang. Detroit is what we call it, where there's curved shores. I told you I'm Bear Clan, and I told you I'm Anishinaabe. Anishinaabe people are the original people of this Great Lakes region. And so I want to take this moment and let us ground ourselves into this community and into this land where our feet rest. It's important to acknowledge all of our ancestors that have come before us, and acknowledge and understand everything that's happened to bring us to this point, so we know where we're going. So I want to just say congratulations for this historic moment, and express my gratitude for asking me to be a part of this. I'm a farmer here, I'm a mom, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, and this is a win for all of us. Is this Indigenous and Afro solidarity that so many of us work on together. This is a huge moment. So, Miigwech, thank you. Have a good day.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Rosebud. We appreciate you. Next, we're going to have brief remarks. Let me say that again. Brief remarks. We're going to respectfully let people know. Okay? 3 minutes. We want to honor this time because we got some celebrating to do out here, right? And we are going to start with Deputy Mayor Todd Beddison from the Mayor's Office. Let's give him a hand.
I definitely got the memo, and I will be brief. Today is a historic day. Mayor Duncan himself would be here, but for being out of town. I would be here, and I am here, regardless of whether he's here or not, because this is so historic. I'm going to say one thing. We often shop at Whole Foods, or folks who shop at Kroger's, or folks who go up to Plum Market. But today, with this site right here and all the work that's been put in, I'm going to become a member. I'm going to be shopping here. We have to lead definitely by example. And so I will definitely be there to make sure that the food that I want to be there when I'm voting and stuff, I'm going to be active as well. So I say that before you all, so definitely hold me accountable when it comes to that. I just want to thank Sonia Mays of Develop Detroit, Malik Yakini, for really sticking with it and making this project happen. This right here is a labor of love, and it didn't come overnight, so it's been more than a decade in the making. I want to also thank Julie Snyder with the City of Detroit's Housing and Revitalization Department, because it was a labor for her as well as the mayor's administration. And when government, philanthropic organizations, and we all work together, we get projects done like this. When you look at the area right here in the historic North End on the Woodwood Corridor, we got a lot of stuff going on. We got DWIN, which is Detroit Wayne Integrated Housing Health Network headquarters. We got Jim Holly, the residences. we got Root Bellis Center, we got the Cathedral Apartments, we got a lot of things going on when it comes to affordable housing. And now that we have healthy food for our residents that's going to support the black farmers, that's going to support everybody, and teach cooking lessons because you have to know how to prepare the food. This is historic. Individuals will be able to walk here from their homes and get fresh and healthy food. And so with that, I'll close it by saying thank you all for this. And let's keep it up and let's support black business. And like what I saw over there on one of the signs, do not ask black businesses for discounts. Let's pay for what we want. Thank you.
Excellent. Next, we're calling the Honorable Mary Sheffield, President of the Detroit City Council. Give her a hand.
Beautiful people! Great morning, everyone. It is such an honor to be here. As was mentioned, I am Council President Mary Sheffield. I have the absolute privilege of representing this district. You are in District 5. Give it up for District 5. So much is happening in this district and in the North End. I'm just honored to be here, really just to say congratulations for the vision to ensure that we are bringing food education to this community, ensuring that Detroiters of all area codes, of all backgrounds have access to quality, affordable food within our city. As we talk about the regrowth of our city and the future of Detroit, we cannot leave behind the importance of healthy, quality, affordable food for Detroiters in this city. That is so important. I truly believe that health is wealth, right? And that we have to make sure that people have access to quality, healthy food. And so congratulations on the vision. I know that it was not easy getting here. We're here today to celebrate, but as he mentioned, this was 10 years in the making. 10 long, arduous years. So let's give them another round of applause for sticking to the vision and not letting go. I know that this place will serve as a place that not only nourishes our bodies, but nourishes our minds and our spirits. As we are here today, people from various backgrounds, this will be a place of community, of us to come together and to collaborate and to build unity within our community. So congratulations. And on behalf of the city of Detroit, we want to provide a Spirit of Detroit award to you all because we truly believe that you embody what the Spirit of Detroit is all about. So if you can come up, I want to present this award to you. I'm not sure who wants to accept it. I know that this was a collaborative effort, but whoever wants to come accept it. All right, great. And just lastly, this is presented in recognition of exceptional achievement, outstanding leadership, and dedication to improving the quality of life. And this is signed by the entire Detroit City Council. God bless you all, and congratulations.
Next, we're going to call up Meredith Freeman. Good morning. I'm Meredith Freeman. I'm with the Max and Marjorie Fisher Foundation. The foundation is a very proud supporter of the development of this co-op, so I'm really happy to be here representing the foundation as well as all of our philanthropic partners who came together to make or help bring this project over the finish line, but mostly I'm here as a fan. I'm a fan of all the people, of all of you, of my brother Malik, of my sister Sonia, and everybody who has worked together to make the vision a reality. So bravo to everyone, to all of you. I'm also here to share a little bit of history. In 1946, the Sojourner Food Co-op opened at 17932 Coney Avenue. Almost 78 years ago, 1946, my grandfather was the president of the Sojourner Food Co-op. My 93-year-old aunt, who's still alive and kicking and will tell you all kinds of stuff, well, she will readily share her memories of shopping in the Sojourner Food Co-op with her parents. So all that to say is that we have so much that we have been given to us from our ancestors, from those who have come before us, who know the importance of us feeding us and us keeping our money circulating through our communities. This is not happenstance. This is not random. This is part of our DNA. So I also want to pay homage to those Kona gardeners. And y'all, I know somebody out here who's Kona gardeners. There you go. And all the Detroiters who shop there, and just recognize that this is a part of who we are, and congratulations to everyone, and let's keep it going. Thank you so much. And let's remember that we stand on the shoulders of those who have always done this work. This isn't new. We have to maintain this, and the work that we do now influence the generations after us. The work we're doing now is for the generations after us. All right, we'd like to call up Jermaine Jenkins. Thank y'all so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here representing Equitable Food-Oriented Development, an organization that Baba Malik actually helped start. So what we do is we focus on equity and justice first for Black, Indigenous, and other bodies of the global majority. We are place and people-based. We circulate dollars we work to support circulating dollars within communities that are in businesses and organizations that are community-led and owned. So what we see here today is the epitome of our work, which is so exciting. We support food entrepreneurs who empower themselves with grants, technical assistance from experts who also are Black, Brown, and Indigenous folks. And we are building a national network of food entrepreneurs who collectively address and dismantle systemic barriers so that even communities that have been pushed to the margins can push back, so that we collaboratively can have, excuse me, I didn't sleep tonight. But so we can cooperate our way to healthy, culturally rich, locally grown produce that not only supports the Detroiters, but is motivation so that this never takes this long again. And from what I heard, it was 14 years. Is that right? Yes. Okay, and I worked the baby, right? That was 9 months. This is 168 months of work. And now we are the caregivers of its future. That means that, like it was mentioned before, we have to be the people that shop here, get our food here. I'm going to figure out how we, as organizations who have been sustained but also inspired by this work, can donate towards getting rid of any debt so there aren't any issues to this being here for a long time. But the other thing to look at is Malik himself. Like, he showed us how we do this work. And what did he do? Like, you can watch on his Facebook page. He grows his own food. He eats his own food. He mollywalks us with music. And you too, if you do that, you can be 100 years old, because I have no idea how old it is. But you can do it too. And what's most important is that he has uplifted these national works, but the epitome of his legacy is right here in Detroit, where he's from. And that's what we, as urban farmers, I'm a farmer, and he was the first Black farmer I met 12 years ago, who didn't know anything about me but showed me what it could be. And here we are today. And I told my coworkers this was very much like, how does it feel? This is like the Alabama chair brawl. That's how exciting this is. We are doing something revolutionary, coming together, but for food. So thank you so much. A little gift for the produce department. Yeah. And we were out of these hoodies, but I'm giving my hoodie to Baba Malik, because those greens are busting in order for him to do this work, right? And the greens are busting in this store, so get ready to spend the money, okay? Thank you so much. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. This is what happens when we invest in each other, when we believe in each other, when we support each other. And so we want to call up Mama Dara Cooper, the Magnificent, for the National Black Food Justice Alliance.
I've been trying to practice Baba Malik's walk for a very long time. I will never have it. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. I am not from Detroit, but my God, it's so good to be home. Thank you. Thank you for always modeling and being the light. I'm gonna share a few quotes, but as Mama Oya, shout out to you, Mama Oya, and all of her power. Please give a round of applause to Mama Oya. Yes, let's receive our flowers, family. Let's receive our flowers. So Mama Oya, Mama Hanifa, all of you amazing, powerful revolutionaries here. Just shout out to you, Piper. I see you, my love. So shout out. My name is Dara Cooper. Shea Lafiani. I'm also a priest. I bring you greetings on behalf of the National Black Food and Justice Alliance. What a gift to be here. We have been a fan, a supporter. I want to share a quote with you actually from Mumia Abu-Jamal. When I thought about the grand opening here, I'm going to share this quote for Black August. It says, during the darkest nights of American bondage, millions of Africans in America, in Brazil, in Cuba, and beyond could look to, I'm gonna modify it, the successful, bold revolution in Haiti. They could look to the successful revolution in Haiti and dream, is what Mumia, political prisoner, freedom fighter, says about Haiti and the successful Haitian revolution. May we always protect, lift up our revolutionaries. And I'm gonna say that about Detroit. I've been in the food movement for a long time, and I remember it being hecka white dominated, right? And all these white dominated space. Folks who believe in the fallacy, in the myth of white supremacy, as Mama Hanifa teaches me, because it's a myth, right? Perpetuating that. But I looked to Detroit, and I saw there was a Detroit Black at the time Food Security Network, now Food Sovereignty Network. I saw that was a possibility. And so I was like, oh, we can do this nationally. We got together with Baba Malik and all the amazing organizations to found an organization of organizations. It is important for us to be organized so that we can control the means to be able to feed ourselves. We don't want access to a thing that somebody else has controlled, right? What do we want? We want to control the thing that feeds us. We want to control the means. We want to control the ability to sustain ourselves, all right? Ashe, can I get that? And when we control that thing, we want to protect that thing. So let us bring the blessings, and constantly, as we mentioned, yes, let us shop, yes, continue to shop. Let us find ways to to be a supporter. I was a supporter, I got kicked off somehow, but I was a supporter of GBCFSN for a long time too. So for those of us who don't technically live in Detroit, let us figure out a way to do that. But let us also be in the habit of, if something is wrong, let's jump in and figure out how we collectively solve this problem. We collectively built this thing. Let us collectively protect this thing and keep this thing going. And so I invite you into that. I'm gonna leave you with two more quotes. One is Ella Baker, and all of these are quotes and people and ancestors that I want to call on and make sure that we're always lifting up and modeling. They laid the road for us to continue walking and building this foundation. And so I want to lift up Ella Baker, who says, give light and the people will find a way. Let me tell you, Detroit is giving the light and the people are finding a way. Let us continue to protect that way. And then the final quote is June Jordan. We are the ones you've been waiting for. So thank you.
Thank you, Mama Dara. Free the land! Yeah. Free the land! Yeah. All right, we're gonna... By any means necessary. Very good, very good. We're going to call up Mama Lene Gilbert Williams. She is the board president of the Detroit People's Food Co-op.
Peace, 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 everybody. I'm gonna be brief. Briefer than what you expect me to be. I want to say to everybody who's watching this, everybody who is here, you've heard a lot of words today that you've not heard before. You've heard a lot of names today that you've not heard before. I want you to know that whether you understand anything we're saying or not, you're welcome. You are valid. Whether you are Christian, whether you are Muslim, whether you are Buddhist, whether you are an Isheshe practitioner, you are valid. Whether you have locks down to your waist, which I've had, perm in your hair, which I've had, fro, which I have, you are welcome. All those divisions that we do, whether you light skinned, whether you dark skinned, whether you somewhere in between, you are welcome. Whether you live in Wildermere Park or Boston Edison, you are welcome. You are equally valid. Whether you have a college degree or not, youth, elder, you are welcome, you are valid. Whether you wonderfully pick up all of our trash off of the street, whether you are a homemaker, a teacher, a doctor, you are valid, you are welcome. This is your co-op. I need you to know that this is your co-op. Whether you understand half of what we talk about, if you've never heard Black food sovereignty in your life, which I didn't up until a certain time, if you are not born into or live in an African-centered household or school, you are valid. You are equally as valid as everyone that you even see sit up in these chairs here. I want you to be very careful of gaining wisdom, but be very careful that you do not place anybody outside of you on a pedestal. Because then you will convince yourself that this is not doable, that somebody else is capable of doing it, but you are not capable of doing it. You are valid. Whether you've ever owned a business before, you are valid. Whether you've owned one or not, you are valid. You are valid and you are welcome. Come with us, learn with us, teach us. My 7-year-old is one of my greatest teachers, and she ain't in almost none of the categories. I'm talking about she that deal. But come learn with us, teach us, and also know that you can begin creating a cooperative environment in your household, right? Listen to your children, listen to your mate. You know that you have all that you need. Whether you know it or not, you have all that you need to do this and then some. So imagine when we come together, what we're capable of doing, right? My mom, who's always been a lover of humanity, beyond phenomenal, listening to her children, she was cooperating in-house. We've been here, y'all, we've been doing this since we've been on this planet. You know how to cooperate. That's what a cooperative is. We're all cooperating. To my husband, Babalawo, Awo, Ifa Baewa, who has dedicated his life in Ifa to serving his community. Marry, create, understand that at all times you are cooperating. You're surrounded by people who've been cooperating. Your grandma has been feeding people in the community forever. You've been going to parent-teacher conferences. You know how to buddy up with the parents at the school. You cooperate. You're valid. You have knowledge and wisdom to bring. So I want to thank everybody who is here. Thank everybody who is not able to be here and who's watching this stream, and know that you are welcome here, that you are valid, and we look forward to having you.
As Fannie Lou Hamer says, we're all in this bag together. Yeah. Okay. Next, we're going to call Akil Talley. He is the general manager of the Detroit People's Food Co-op. Let me tell you, we prayed for this brother. We put love into this brother. We're so proud of him. Let's give him a hand.
Can we give some love to Nanu Jabo, please? To the drummer song. Detroit, what up though? What up though? Everybody is like 5'2". I'm speaking before me. Real fast, whoever arranged the speakers, I need to talk to you. You gotta put me first. Stop putting me behind all these powerful speakers. Get up here and embarrass myself real fast. When I was approached about this position, I've been in the grocery business for 20 years. I thought this was just a typical grocery job. But after my first panel interview, I walked away like, this is what I was made for. I was born to do this position. And the energy and the love that I get from this community on a daily basis is overwhelming, and I couldn't be more proud or happier of the crew that we have, the community that we're building. That's right. We're gonna keep building. On a daily basis, I send out recaps to our board of directors, our team leaders, just giving like, a rundown of what happened during the day or what happened within the co-op, the things we need to address. And at the end of every email, I sign off by saying, to the dopest co-op in the world. This is the dopest co-op in the world. I love y'all, Detroit.
I'm not 5'2", I'm 5'3" and a quarter. You know what? I'd like for the staff of the Detroit Black Community Food Sovereignty Network to stand up. Mama Piper, Mama Hanifa, our board. Want to get them a hand? All right. Also, I would like for the board of the Detroit People's Food Co-op stand up, committee leads. Some of us stood up a couple of times. All right, this is our community, right? It belongs to all of us. This belongs to us. And so finally, I'd like to call up Sonia Mays. She is the president and CEO of Develop Detroit. They are a partner in this process. They are co-owners of this building with us. And we are working together to make this happen for you. So let's give her a strong hand, Mama Sonia.
Thank you, Mama Oya. And thanks everyone. I'm gonna try to get through this without getting overly emotional. This project has been a real point of passion for me. So what I want to do is I just want to give everyone a quick story of how my organization Develop Detroit and myself became a part of the dopest co-op in the world. Is that right? So I met Malik Yakini in 2017 through a mutual friend. I'll leave it to him. She's here today. She lives in Atlanta, but she's here. I was going to leave it to you to embarrass Tayani. So Tayani's a developer from Detroit, living in Atlanta, and she connected me with Malik in around 2017. Quick backstory, I grew up here, Northwest Detroit, but I moved away after high school. And in 2017, I had only been back about 4 or 5 years, so I was still learning this place that I grew up in. And I met with Malik, and I remember walking away from the conversation just being utterly blown away with his leadership, the work that he had done. Now, I know everybody here knows all of that, right? You've been watching him move for 40 years? Whatever the number is, you all have been watching it move for a few decades, but I was new to it. I was blown away. And I remember him talking about how they were DBCFSN was 8 years into trying to get this co-op, the dopest co-op in the world, off the ground. And I walked away and I thought to myself, they have done it all. They have done the research. They are doing the education. They are working with kids. They are leading a movement in this. And I have watched in development and other parts of my life where people who have a fraction of the passion, a fraction of putting the work in, have been able to get the money get the support, move faster. In a different kind of world, this project would have been built in just a couple, 2-3 years, right? It would have, in a different kind of world. And my heart broke a little bit. My heart broke a little bit to think about all the people who have been involved in this for years, for almost a decade, and we're still having conversations about how do I get this built? How do I get a shovel in the ground? How do I get it done? And all the people who had put money down on this vision, and all of the need that is throughout our communities, and we still couldn't figure out how to get this done. And I just was angry, and I realized that I don't like that I live in a world where that can happen. And I certainly don't like that it can happen in Detroit. And so I walked away, we talked it over with my team, and it just became a point of passion for us. We could have found excuses. We're housing developers. We could have found a bunch of different excuses to not do this project. But it just was so meaningful. And it's the most inspiring thing that I've worked on in my entire career. I am very, very, very grateful that Malik and DBCFSN invited us into this project, trusted us to be a partner here, allowed us in on this vision. I couldn't be more proud. And so thank you. And there are a few other people that I want to just thank and acknowledge while I'm here. I'll leave it to Malik to thank all the folks with DBCFSN, but I want to thank a bunch of people who made this development possible, like on the technical side. Can the architects who work on this, if you're here, could you raise your hand? I saw Russell Baltimore. He's the designer. He's the reason this looks like it does. Do we have anybody from SDG? The architecture firm SDG, if you're here, please raise your hand. Thank you. How about LS Brinker? LS Brinker, black-owned contracting firm. Got this built for us. Here we go. LS Brinker, thank you. And they worked hard on this, y'all. They worked hard. So congrats to the architects, the contractors. We have a number of money people. So there's some foundation people here, bank folks, US Bank, Michigan Community Capital, Fisher Foundation, Kresge Foundation. Sorry if I'm missing your name specifically, but if you could just raise your hand if you made sure that we had access to the money to make this happen, please. And then finally, just really quickly, if everybody could show my team some love. We poured so much love and time into this. At one point, more than half of my team was working on it. Thousands and thousands of hours went into just getting this built, and I want to show them some love. So from everybody, past and present, who has been with Develop Detroit, just raise your hand and just show them a little bit of love, please.
Thank you, Mama Sonia. Appreciate you. Thank you, Develop Detroit. Let's give a hand to Develop Detroit. And finally, we're gonna call Baba Malik Kenyatta Yakini. He is the executive director of the Detroit Black and Community Food Sovereignty Network. He is our brother. He is our friend. He is a revolutionary New African nationalist, Pan-Africanist, who puts his love and heart into our community. His words matches his actions. Let me say that again. His words matches his actions. This is a man of integrity. This is a man with a deep, loving belief in the strength, the power, and the beauty of African people unapologetically. Yeah. This is my friend. This is a man who believes in us, every single one of us, if your name is African or not. He believes in our people, and I'm so honored to be a part of the team with him. I'm so honored to call him my brother, and I want you all to give him a real serious round of applause for this strong black man, Malik Yakini.
So first of all, peace, peace. How's everyone doing? I'm gonna try to keep this short. It's a little difficult. I want to start by thanking the Creator, and as Mama Hanifa said, our ancestors. In particular, I want to thank Julie McBride, who was already mentioned, who served as the project manager from 2016 until she passed in 2020. As has been said, the Detroit Food Commons is the result of 14 years of planning, of work, of organizing in the community, of building relationships, and of building a movement for Black food sovereignty. Over those 14 years, it required philanthropy, development professionals. We wouldn't have got here without Develop Detroit. Let me say that publicly. Because we knew, DBCFSC knew a lot about growing kale and tomatoes, but we didn't know about building a building. And so we're thankful to have partnered with Develop Detroit to make this come to fruition. It required participation by government, by lenders, by consultants, by attorneys. A whole lot of attorneys were involved in this. I want to call out two who are here today. We want to call out our sister Dana Thompson. Is Dana here? Who runs the Community Economic Development Clinic at University of Michigan, who's been our pro bono attorneys since we first started in 2006. But also this deal required a very complicated lending mechanism called New Markets Tax Credits. And so we had to have an attorney just for that. And so I want to ask Sister Ashley Wicks to stand up, please, so people can see. She's here. She's here, Sonia. She's live in person. So we did a lot of this stuff by Zoom, right? Closing the deal, and so this is really the first time that we're meeting in person, but we want to call her out, lift her up. Also, Alicia Alvarez, before Dana Thompson took over the University of Michigan's clinic, was the lead attorney. We want to thank Sister Alicia. We also want to thank everybody. There's so many people who have contributed in big and small ways, and it's impossible to name everybody who has contributed, but we want to just say a collective thank you to everybody who has supported this vision and helped this come into being. But the most important element, in addition to all those folks I named, is really you. Is the people of this community who co-created with us, who trusted us, who supported us, and who worked to make this vision come into reality. That community is Black people in Detroit who will no longer accept a food economy that extracts our wealth for the benefit of others. That community includes non-Black allies, accomplices, and co-conspirators who are committed to dismantling white supremacy, or the myth of white supremacy, who are committed to dismantling the myth of white supremacy, both in the policies and practices of the society, but also inside of their own heads. That community includes comrades from throughout North America who have encouraged us, who have resourced us. Dara Cooper, National Black Food and Justice Alliance, Yvonne, who have convened us, who have critiqued us, who have cautioned us, who have loved on us, who have taught us, and who have learned from us. Many of those comrades are here today. We're going to do a quick roll call just so you can see the kind of extent of the influence that this project has had and the extent of the network that we are part of both nationally and also throughout North America. When I call your city or state, I want you to make a joyful noise. And we have to begin with the city that gave Betty Carter the Temptations and What Up Doe to the world. If you are from Detroit, make some noise. First things first. Now to the other Black Mecca. If you are from Atlanta, make some noise. If you are from New York, make some, oh wait, hold on, excuse me. If you are from Atlanta or Georgia, let's do that again, make some noise. Where's Brother Eric Simpson and the folks from West Georgia? They up in here somewhere, they travel a long way. There you are in the back. If you are from New York, Mama Santewa, make some noise. Where's New York in the house? Either the city or the state. If you are from Illinois, make some noise. You from Illinois, JQ? I didn't know that. If you are from Florida, make some noise. Is Texas in the house? Houston is deep. Houston is deep up in here, Mama Anifa. Mama Anifa from Houston. Y'all got to connect with her later. If you are from California, make some noise. Is Mama Bonnie here? The South? Where's she at? Hey, LA in the house. If you are from Toronto, make some noise. Where you at, Toronto? That's my teacher and big brother there. Now throw your hands up. That's right. With the zone up. If you are from Alabama, make some noise. Bama ain't in the house. Yeah, one person representing Bama. If you are from Mississippi, make some noise. All right. Ashley repping from Mississippi. If you are from South Carolina, make some noise. If you are from Ohio, make some noise. Ohio got a chant and gang signs. They was throwing up gang signs. If you are from Indiana, make some noise. Kind of, sort of. Wisconsin in the house. Minnesota in the house. You repping for Wisconsin now?
No, I'm from Detroit. I live in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay, you live it, but you repping for Detroit still. All right, Dr. Monica White, let's check it.
All right.
If you're from Maryland, make some noise. Where's Maryland? Virginia in the house. All right. So what other places are people from? St. Louis in the house. All right. Where else are people from? Philly. Oh, how did I forget Philly? Philly.
Africa.
Where? Philly. East Africa in the house. Mama Atiana. So wherever you're from, we appreciate and we are glad to be in community with you. At the groundbreaking on April 23rd, 2022, I riffed off of a quote by Kwame Nkrumah, who was the first president of independent Ghana. At the independence celebration for Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah said the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is tied to the total liberation of the African continent. My kind of remix of that was that the Detroit Food Commons and Detroit People's Food Co-op are most significant when it's linked to ending the extraction of wealth and the suppression of power of black communities throughout the United States. So I said that at the groundbreaking. I'll remind you of that same thing today. That while the opening of the Detroit Food Co-op is a shining example and a victory to be celebrated and given long-term support, and while we are aware that the ripples of this project are impacting people throughout the country, we must also acknowledge that the economic bleeding and extraction continues to underdevelop black communities in this country and abroad. So while we are very happy to have this step forward, we also have to have a sober reminder that not just in the rest of Detroit, but in black communities throughout this country, that people are extracting wealth on a daily basis and underdeveloping our communities. It's not just about one store. As my brother Amaha and our comrades in Dayton at the Gym City Co-op often remind us, it's not just a market, it's a movement. Malcolm X talked about this more than 60 years ago when he talked about people coming into our communities and leaving at the end of the day with a basket full of money, and we're left with nothing. We're left with no empowerment, we're left without jobs, we're left without ownership. We're changing that paradigm. So I encourage you to redouble your efforts to build black food sovereignty. And I want to close this out as we often close out Kwanzaa. For those who have celebrated Kwanzaa, we close it with a what we call pulling Harambe. Harambe is a word in Kiswahili that was the rallying cry for the independence movement in Kenya when they were fighting for the independence from the British. And Harambe means let's pull together. And what we're going to do, we're going to ask those who can stand to do so. And if you're feeling uncomfortable, if you're not a person directly of African descent, I would encourage you just to dig way back in your mitochondrial DNA. And even if just for a minute, just embrace that. And what we're going to do is with our right hand, we're going to reach up with our hand open. We're going to, when I say Harambe, we're going to pull down as if we're pulling freedom towards us. We're going to say it 7 times. On the last time, we're going to let it reverberate very loud so that the folks down the street in Highland Park and HP so that they can hear us. And the folks down the way in Midtown can hear us, and the folks on the east side and the folks on the west side. 1, 2, 3, Harambe! 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 Harambe!
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next we're gonna have the ribbon cutting ceremony. I'm so excited. Hold on 1 second. There we go. We're going to close out this part of our ceremony with a quote from Assata Shakur. And I'd like for you all to repeat after me, please. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. And say it like you mean it, okay? Let's try that again. I mean real loud. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. We must love each other. We must love each other. And support each other. And support each other. We have nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose. But our chains. But our chains. Thank you so much.
Got more mamas and papas around here.